What's up, you guys? It's your favorite host, it's Sheena, here at the Tendin to Your Business podcast, available on YouTube, podcasts, Spotify, and all of the other favorite places that you like to listen to podcasts. This season, we are focusing on ourselves. We are recentering her. We're learning about things and doing things that are good for our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health, and learning more and more about women along the way. So I want to jump right into it. Make sure you listen to the last two episodes, or is it this episode two? This is episode two, so I'm lying. But we talked a good bit about what's been going on in the trailer, and in episode one, we talked about mental health and making sure that you set yourself up through menstruation, through puberty, through all like the life cycle of fertility for the most part, and the things that like hormonally that your body goes through. So make sure you check out episode one. Episode two, I really had fun preparing for it. It's something that I live and die by, and that is singleness. So stay tuned. All right. It is no secret, at least for people who know me, that I am notoriously single. I date. I've, had a few boyfriends or so since my divorce. And yeah, sure. Like why not? Why not? I'll try. But it's not something that like is a priority in my life. And maybe that's why, I don't have a long-term partner, but it's just not priority for me. So when I think of, all the things a romantic relationship gives me, those are things that I can find in other relationships. I'm a physical touch kind of girl, and there are things I can do for myself that support physical touch. Like I have a weighted blanket, I have really nice feeling robes and like long pajamas that feel good on my skin. I love to like shave my legs and feel my skin against the sheets. So it's like a literal physical touch thing for me. And I had massager, like all the things that another person could do. You can just make sure to do yourself, or at least I do myself. I do myself. I don't want to be dependent on another person to get those things that I need. And then sometimes you make bad decisions trying to chase those needs, the flesh. But there, are things you can do from, home. And then like my mom gives the best hugs. So I hug my friends a lot. My friends will tell you that I'm a hugger and I love to hug my kids. They love to hug. I'm a hugger and they hug me all the time. So I get hugs, aplenty. So I'm not desperate necessarily, not to say anybody's desperate, but not necessarily desperate for that type of physical um, touch from, just a specific place to get it from. So I've really opened up my options. And I think that's really has been the key to being single, is knowing like the things that I need and where I can get those things that aren't necessarily a romantic relationship. But divorced, I, kind of spin the block on I want to say a few people, but a few people. And it didn't necessarily work out. So that would be my advice, like to, even to myself after reflection, like don't spin a block. You didn't, that person wasn't what you needed the first time. They're not going to be what you need now. So don't do it. That's my advice. Don't do it. Not to say that people don't change, but sometimes people do change and they're not the same person you spin the block for. So that's okay too, right? That's okay too. But overall, I would just say don't do it. Don't do it. Oh man. But I don't necessarily date too much. And then where I live is kind of a small place. So a lot of people know the same people, are already married to those people, already have children with those people, or some type of close knit relationship. So it's real tight. And then a lot of people, at least here that I've met, like I'm a military kid and my whole family's military and we live all over the place. We got friends all over the place, all over the world, right? And it gets different when you kind of live in a snow globe where everybody also lives there to have the same experiences more or less. And you can tell when people aren't, used to things outside of their sphere, right, of existence. And that can be challenging sometimes. For me, I'm always learning, always growing, always moving, always doing. And that maybe spontaneity in myself could probably be another, I don't know, red flag maybe for myself. But I just have found that I don't prefer to date locally. All right. So the next reason I really don't date and I prefer to stay single is my family balance. Right now, I'm a full time mom, and the only thing I really want to concern myself with is myself and my kids. And my family is the extended priority. And anything outside of that, I just don't want or have time for right now. I'm fully immersed in baseball season and all the things baseball and keeping Jackson entertained and socialized on the weekends when he's not in school and helping my older son grow and do the things that he, needs to do day by day, learning day by day, growing and doing more day by day. And I just don't have a lot of room for anything else and or the desire for anything else outside of that. That keeps me fulfilled. It keeps me sustained. And I don't have that constant desire for more than that. I'm very much a, you know, within my means kind of person. I don't necessarily long for more all the time. Sometimes it'll get to be like sometimes you understand you're complacent in certain spaces or just doing well enough and challenge myself in ways that don't directly involve someone else, right? Like I'll take on a new project or I'll learn something new or do something new versus someone new or some, new person. And as my kids are growing, I don't necessarily think that they should have to meet, everybody. Like some friends are my friends and that's just it. And at a time right now where my kids are very, I don't want to call them clingy, but we're very close. I'll say that. Very, very close. And just want to make sure I'm available for them and the things that they need and not let anything kind of get in the middle of that. So that's another really big, huge, giant reason that I don't necessarily date or get as serious with people as I probably could or desire to because I have so much other stuff going on. Other stuff going on. And that can get challenging because I do have the freedom and the flexibility to kind of do as I please. So that can be intimidating, I've found, to people where they can't give you a lifestyle that they've made up for themselves or think that they should do. Like you're working against their insecurities with the ability to kind of, like I said, go and come as you please. So it gets interesting when it's like, oh, I want to go to this place, I want to go that place, I want to travel here, I want to travel there, and they're not necessarily prepared or they have other things going on, which is fine. I'm gonna still go. No, like that's not my concern. And I've, run into many situations where it's like, the other person has to go or there's a rift because I went and they didn't. I call it the H2O. Thank you for the town of Gibsonville. Shout out to you all. But yeah, I like to go and come as I please. I like to do different things. I don't want to be, I'm just not in the space right now. I'm not saying I'm always like that or have always been like that and will always be like this. But right now, I just don't want to be bothered with someone else is doing. I just want to go to games. I want to go do sports stuff. I want to go do the things that I want to do without all the other insecurities that come along with it. And I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm just chilling. I just be chilling. I just be chilling. But it's just all the other possibilities that you have to like fight against, and that gets annoying. And then like people themselves get annoying. So, but yeah, wrapping this up. This is all right. Don't forget to catch a girl on YouTube, Spotify, all the places you like to hear a podcast. You got podcast ideas? Let me know. You want to be on the show? Let me know. You want to share with your friends? Let them know. A couple of other podcasts I've been on, the Rondell Lane podcast. I was on the Microwave podcast this morning. Of course, Queens of the Yard, sponsored by HBC Game Days and other podcasts. I think that's all the ones that I'm running right now. So y'all hit me up and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye.